Hello, everyone. Healing Communities has some exciting things that are happening this year. I'm Dr. Denise, and if you know me, then you know that I absolutely love the work that we are doing through Healing Communities. Romans 12 and 1 says that we are transformed by the renewing of our minds. If we want to see change in our lives, then we need the right information to change the way that we think. When we have the right information, then we will have right thinking, and then we can change our world around us. So, Dr. Trulier and I are excited to introduce to you an extraordinary young man who has experienced a destiny altering transformation. His name is Tariq Gaston. Tariq is a 2024 graduate of the Georgetown Pivot Program. The Pivot Program is a professional development program for career-oriented individuals previously incarcerated. Tariq completed 9 months of rigorous classroom and hands-on workplace instructions. The program's goal is to destigmatize and empower returning citizens as they transition into the workforce. Pivot Fellows discover potential vocational paths and develop the skills needed to succeed in both the workplace and as leaders in their communities. Tariq not only successfully completed the program, but he was named this year's standout graduate and had the opportunity of sharing his story at the graduation. He was also interviewed by Fox 5 News.
Georgetown University is working to help people who were previously incarcerated become successful as entrepreneurs. And the Pivot program allows participants to pitch their business plans to possibly win the funding for their idea. And tomorrow, the program is celebrating the graduation of this year's 14 fellows.
Pivot is a life-changing experience. They help you in so many ways that you can't even imagine. And once you get there, all you have to do is apply yourself and be yourself. And from there, it's sky's the limit.
This is one of those things where you say, well, what had happened was, the backstory is that many may not know that Tariq is a twin. His twin brother, Sadiq, is my son's best friend, and Sadiq has lived with us for many years, and he and my husband are good friends. Sadiq considers my husband to be his second father, and we love Sadiq and consider him to be one of our sons. So when Sadiq told me that his brother would be coming home from prison, I immediately thought of the Pivot program and how if he was ready to apply himself, this program, along with a lot of hard work, could change his life. I remember the day that I first met him. He introduced himself and I told him about the program, and I just remembered the way that his face lit up. And a few months later, he came back to say, I'm a part of the program. It's going well. Thank you so much.
I'm just grateful that Ms. Strothers even just mentioned it one day, and just it started from you, to be honest. And now we just grateful just to have an interaction with you, just to come across this beautiful thing, and just that helped me, that taught me a lot of things. And from there, helped me to blossom into the person I am today. And like in 3 days, this will be my first year out from prison. So just the things I have done within that time. So I'm just grateful.
The Pivot program works with employer partners and the DC business community to encourage greater hiring of individuals with a prior conviction, creating opportunities for fellows and others who may have been justice involved.
As a founding member of the Second Chance Business Coalition, Pivot is a leading resource for employers committed to inclusive hiring of returning citizens.
Back in the 2000s, there were a number of people, including the Annie E. Casey Foundation, that were very concerned about the high number of people who would be returning from prison and jails in the mid 2000s. The sentencing practices that we had as a country in the 80s and 90s had made it so that we were looking at 2006 as the year when the most people came home from prison in the history of the country, over 650,000 folks. And that's not counting jails, that's just state and federal. Okay. They came to me and a couple of other faith leaders and said, how would the faith community deal with this? What's the role of the faith community in helping people to make the transition back home? And so we sat down with the Progressive Baptist Convention, which was co-founded by Martin Luther King. And we developed this healing communities model, which trained congregations on how to receive people coming home by starting with the people in their own congregations. One of the things that's been really important for us is if you come home and you can't find a job in 30 days, you say, man, I'm going back on slinging, whatever. You get locked up, you get in the paper, and there they go, I told you so. Nobody tells the stories of the Tariq Gastons, right? You don't make the paper. So we find guys like yourself who have taken advantage of things. We connect with Pivot. We send people to Pivot. We send people to other programs. Our job, like what Dr. Denise has done, she's been a support to you personally. And then she can plug you into a program like Pivot and you become successful. So for us, it's really helping churches to know how to help those of us that are coming through the system, because most of them, they'll come and on a Sunday and do a service for you, right? Try to get you saved. But when you come home, we don't know what to do with you. So this has been the work that we've been doing now since 2007.
In addition, Tariq won the pitch competition. First of all, Tariq, tell us, what is a pitch competition and what was that experience like for you? Your pitch was this moving company.
Yes.
That's your company.
Yeah, me and my partner Isaiah. So we have a junk removal company called Capital City Movers. We do evictions, junk hauling. We also do valet trash as well. So it's very, very lucrative. Everybody needs something junk removed from their home or office space or anything. So it was a great idea. So during the Pivot program, they help you build business plans and stuff like that. Each individual has to build their own business plan, come up with an idea of what business they want to have. So of course of doing that, I was kind of already structuring a business at the time. So they actually ripped up the business plan I had and structured it. So while I was already helping out with a business at the time, they was restructuring it. And when the pitch competition came, it just gave us an opportunity to win money for our vision or what we already got going on. And a couple guys had a couple good ideas, and I spoke about the business and things we were doing. At the time, we had 5 apartment complexes that we were serving, and I had numbers to show, and they was intrigued, like, whoa, this dude is doing all this already. I'm like, yeah, I'm focused. I'm trying to achieve goals. Like, Pivot is just great. There've been times I needed money to fill up the van for the company. They give me $300 in shell cards to fill up the gas for you lower your expenses. Just thinking about the Pivot program would have done for me. It actually did more for me than I actually expected. I was just looking at it like, okay, just go there 5 times a week, paycheck, that's fine. But the educational aspect of things that they give you there just expands your mind, opens your mind to different things different avenues you never thought of, and just giving you financial advisors. If you want to start a business, give you business coaches, stuff like that. Those are the things that actually help advance the individual. And just going into like minor things such as like lift cards, smart trips, and those tedious things in which a person needs to get there, they're providing that. And those things that most people overlook, okay, I'm gonna give this guy a job. Cool. But he's trying to build something to get somewhere. So you're helping them with smart trip or transportation on that ride. That eases the journey for the individual than just also giving giant cars. Now you're feeding him and you're giving him away there. Now his money, he can actually do this small investment or save this money in what you're telling him to do. And but if those things aren't provided, he has no option to dig into that paycheck. Then once the paycheck gets smaller, now a person goes into a want mode, not the want mode, but goes into the need mode. So I need more money. And that's probably the worst mindset that a person from prison can be in is I need money mode, because now if the need's not coming with the money, now it's like, whoa, I gotta start doing things that I'm accustomed to, that I know how to do, rather than going to the direction that I really want to go to. So just having a solid foundation just is very important. Even what you guys doing and even what Pivot doing, it starts with the individual in himself. And I always tell people, anybody can do it for sure, but it definitely starts with you. Do you want to succeed? Do you want to change your life? You can help all you want, but if it's not internally, it's not going to move that way. If you're not willing to, okay, I'm not going to hang with this friend anymore, or if I'm not gonna want to buy these shoes because they cost $300. Now I'm gonna be back on rent. If you can stay have that mentality and just stay on some sort of course that these people with wisdom is guiding you upon, you'll be good. Like just being home almost a year now, just trying to stay the course, stay disciplined, listen to the people that is wiser, has the resources, and have your ears open.
You mentioned that the person has to have the mindset. We got a young man from our church who's down in DC jail, and I talked to him the other day, and he was talking about his plans when he comes home. And my question was, well, what are you doing now while you're still in to prepare yourself to be that person when you come home? Because it's not like I can do run this jail mentality while I'm in this space and then flip a switch and now all of a sudden I'm this guy I want to be. What are you doing to be the guy you want to be when you get out while you're still in? How did you handle that?
So, excellent question. So, I did 6 years in prison, but it goes back to probably within my first year in, like probably first year, first 18 months. And that they had numerous college courses, and I started taking them up. And I started going to the University of Baltimore. So they gave me a 4-year scholarship to go to their school. So while I'm in there, I'm going to school. I'm doing extra programs such as architect programs and different things as such that's benefiting me, which I can add to my resume as well. But those are the things that people will look at on a sheet of paper. The biggest thing, to be honest, is who you surround yourself and the type of mentality you have yourself while you're in there. Because a lot of people always say me like, go to school, do this. They like, dude, you're 20, 21. Why you not hanging with other dudes from DC or Prince George's County? Like, why you not trying to fit in? I'm like, that's not for me. I don't feel like I'm like those guys. I want to be successful. And these guys want to sit around and talk about drugs or other stuff, shootings, and that stuff don't entice me. I want to be successful. I want to be a millionaire. I want to do it the right way.
The Pivot program not only provides a stipend for each fellow, not only do they provide help with a business plan, but they also provide placement in a company where you will work the last 3 months of the course.
at the end of Pivot, the last 3 months, they give us an internship at different locations. So you got to interview and stuff like that. And I rocked my interview for Link, and Link chose me. I chose Link. So just doing it, the internship, I just strived and showed them the best of what I can do and provide. And at the end of my internship, I was actually talking to the Black Chamber of Commerce, and we had an interesting conversation. They was giving out membership to the Pivot Fellows, but at the end of the conversation, it turned out they needed help with their website and different other things like that. And I got them to try to become one of Link clients, and it actually worked out. So it showed that I was like an asset to Link, and Link extended an offer to me, which I accepted. I work for a consulting firm, a social impact firm right now, Link Strategic. They was there supporting me and just seeing how everything came through. Just from Georgetown, speaking at the graduation, being on Fox 5 and having a business that's moving in the right direction, working at a consulting firm. Things was just like going my way, just a blessing, all of it, everything.
Do you get college credits? You get a certificate? Tell us about some of the logistics.
Yeah, Pivot is a 9-month program, and in which at the end you get a certification in entrepreneurship and business management. We had a nice graduation at the end. The alumni came, different people from the mayor's office came. So it was beautiful to see that people actually care about returning citizens and embrace us like that.
One thing you might want to know, Brother Gaston, you mentioned returning citizens. When Healing Communities first set up in DC in 2009, we met with the mayor's office. And at the time, it was called the Mayor's Office of Ex-Offenders Affairs. And so we were talking with them about returning citizens. They said, well, what's that? We said, well, you all talk about ex-offenders, but at Healing Communities, we don't believe in defining a person by what they used to be with their ex, but where they're headed. And so they're returning, they're moving forward. And so they said, well, we like that idea. So the people in the mayor's office went to the district council and they changed the name of the mayor's office from the Mayor's Office on Ex-Offenders Affairs to the Mayor's Office of Returning Citizens Affairs. And the District of Columbia officially adopted the term returning citizens as opposed to ex-offenders. And that was because of Healing Communities. That was because of us. We were the ones that introduced the term to DC. Just thought that's an interesting sidebar. But it also, I think, reflects what our commitment is to people like you and me to not be defined by the worst mistake we ever made, but be defined by who we are today and what our future is.
I can't begin to tell you how grateful my husband and I have been to watch what God is doing in Tariq's life. I take praying for my children, my bonus children, very seriously, and it brought tremendous joy to our hearts to watch the miracle that was happening for this young scholar. He just needed another chance. He just needed another chance. He just needed for someone to believe in him. And I'm grateful for organizations like Healing Communities, like the Georgetown Pivot Program, that are giving these young people that second chance. And guess what? You can too. You can come and be a part of us, you can partner with us, and you too can give someone in your community this same opportunity. I know that the best is yet to come for Tariq and for so many others who will follow his example.